Welcome back. I do not know what happened there or why it happened. So check out a gecko while we're at it. Here. One gecko. I don't know why it's up so much. That was a good time. So here's a gecko for your enjoyment. Until then. He's so pretty. Oh my gosh. I can't get over him. This is party favorite. Bruh. Luckily he's not bred yet, so he's not bitey. I don't know what happened there. I've got great internet, but we are on Wi-Fi in this room, so who knows? Are we back? I don't know. Either way, he gets some worms and he gets normal food. Well, hopefully we stay live this whole time. I have no idea what happened there. That was silly. It is also our first time, so, the struggle. Go, pretty boy. Well, welcome back. Hey, welcome. Yeah, that was no fun. I don't know why it went out. It's like, got great internet. There should be no issues, but who knows? We're just gonna actually. He kind of needs a big bowl. I guess not. Whatever. It's not like they're gonna run away. Okay. We'll give them a few of these. I couldn't believe this whole container was $6 for so many calciworms. I was so confused. Honestly, so confused. I don't know what's happening with it. It just decided to die on me. So my worry with calciworms is that they're not gonna have quite as much movement. I guess they're calciworms or black soldier fly larvae, whatever we want to call them. That they're not going to have as much movement as Dubia roaches, but we'll see. We'll see how it looks tomorrow. We will also give the adorable little... This is his little bin up here. I'm sorry I keep waking you up, little baby. I'll give you some of those. That's a literal smorgasbord. He's got mealworms in there, some Dubia roaches in there. Dude is set. It's never been this stoked in his life, I bet. This is Vice Tone. This is a male I'm selling, but he got so big that he got his own enclosure. So he's for sale. He doesn't have a name or anything. He's a really pretty cream, Harlequin. And then this is Vice Tone on the end. He is going to be breeding this season. He needs a couple more grams. It happens even with the best internet providers. Yeah, I don't know if it was my computer or my PC or what. I haven't streamed. On my... This is a laptop. I do stream on Twitch as well, so I have a full PC in the other room. And I pulled in some of my nice gear from that, but yeah. Okay, so the problem that I have is, this is why I have another rack coming. I hate having to unstack gecko bins. It is my number one pet peeve is unstacking gecko bins. So that is why I don't have bins, which was the subject we were on earlier, was no bins, please. So I won't lie to you, Gecko Fidelity. Your female, she came from Hector of Northern Virginia Geckos. She is a little wild child. I guess it's good. Some people are like, it's better that way. They're always going to be voracious eaters and they're not going to have issues with their laying season, which is Yeah, but like she wild. So we're gonna do these 2 bins, which she is in the bottom one. And she is like always hiding under here. Like, yeah, there she is. She's always under her freaking paper. Ugh. She a wild child. And she literally eats so much freaking food. Like, I told you how much she freaking gained. I told you how much weight she gained since you bought her. It was like 10 grams. Because she will eat everything I put in there. Like, she is a monster eater. Like, chill, girl. Chill. This is another male I have for sale that I'm honestly shook that it also hasn't sold. Like, it's listed for $200. Like, look at this thing. He's got great coverage for $200. Like, it's very nice. This is him obviously unfired, but really nice coverage for a little dude. So, he's also pretty calm, which is nice. He doesn't even need a mist because this bin holds a lot more moisture than my other enclosure. Oh, she's so wild. Like, I almost go in here, like, just don't wake back up because you're going to launch and yeet yourself out of here. Hi. Will you be nice? Nope, you won't be nice. You will yeet yourself into oblivion. Huh. Okay. Here she is. For everyone here, Gecko Fidelity bought this female for me. She's a tricolor. She's fired down right now because I obviously just woke her up. Gosh, she's gonna yeet, like 100% gonna just yeet into oblivion if she can. Oh, there it goes. Gosh. She is nope. She's gained so much weight. Yeah, I guess she's easily 35. Like, she's easily 35. And that's 35 no tail. Like, she's going to get to you and be ready to breed. Like, honestly, at this rate. And I gave her, you saw how much I gave her. I gave her, like, it's probably like 2 ounces of food, and she's going to eat all of it. She's a monster. Like, literally, she's going to arrive to you and be ready to breed. Like, it's gonna be hilarious. I don't know. It's wild. She wild. Yeah. I've never seen a gecko gain quite that much, but she is, and that's what I would say. I'm like, some people, like, breeder wise, I kind of like the wild childs because they're always gonna eat well for you. I have planned. She's going to a Chad line. Oh, perfect. Because heck, the reason I bought her, her story is I bought her, like, kind of sight unseen off of a video of his at a show. He just was like doing one of, like, scroll over what he has for sale at a show. And I had planned to, like, obviously have her in my own lines, but then I don't really have the space. And I was kind of like, she's really nice and I really want Hector lines, but I'm like, I already am cutting back. I've had her for a while now. And as she just matured, I was like, I just don't know if I really truly, like, need another female when I've got, like, 11 pairings. Like, yeah, 11 pairings for me is a lot. Because last year I did 8 pairings, I think. And 2 of them, like, barely took. So they barely laid anything. And I still ended up with, like, 60 babies. So I was kind of like, I needed to cut the lowest end of my nice stuff, and, like, that's saying something because she's brilliant and beautiful, but, like, it's hard to make these decisions. Like, I have another one that I'm grappling with. I was so close to selling her, and if I show you guys her, you're going to be like, why the hell were you thinking of selling her? She's my gorgeous yellow, my only yellow female I have, but I was kind of like, oh, this is still a lot of geckos to be pairing. I don't know. Like, should I not? But I think I'm pairing her. I think I'm pairing all 11 of them, which is wild. These are some my Lilly whites. I need a bin change. These ones are always messy. Like no matter. Oh, hi! There you were. I was looking. Did you just see me looking for the other one? It was in there. Callie, stop barking at me. My dog is barking at me. I literally was looking for you. And boom. Out it came. Okay. So these ones like are so messy. You need a bin change. Little dude. You guys poop too much. Which means they're growing, which is great because they're lily whites. Just like this one. Look at this little babe. A little yellow. Watch yourself, little dude. This is my little holdback still in this bin. Callie, stop barking at me. My dog hates when I talk to anyone that, like, she thinks it's her. Yeah, do send me a photo. Okay, come here, little baby. My trash can is, like, right behind the camera. So. My little dog gets jealous that I talk to other people, so she's out there barking at me. Callie, no. No. We'll lock her in my bedroom if I have to. She gets so annoying. Okay, go back in your bin, everyone. Thank you. She's not allowed in here either, so that's a struggle. You guys keep turning over your water. So yeah, this is the stunningly enjoyable time. I see you too. Of feeding geckos. Sent. I'll have to grab my phone. Oh, messages. Switch. Oh, yeah. That's a really nice male. Yeah, they're gonna smash it. That's awesome. Okay. My friend was asking me what my Instagram was. So this thing is out of this female, which is just a lily white. Hi. She's just a normal lily white, nothing crazy. Oh my gosh. To get the winter holds. Okay, Anna, let me go see if I can show you an update on yours. Okay, come here. So this is out of a lily white. Look at this tricolor. This thing is legitimately just flat out a tricolor. It's a normal, obviously, but like, I cannot get over it. Okay, wild child. Woo! So yeah, I was like shook. She threw some of my nicest tricolors, which goes to show you, if you get good lineage on your lily whites, you can like progress even your normal projects out of them. And it's like this crazy. Okay. Yeah, so I will tell you guys a story of what happened this week. Speaking of, let me see if I can find yours. Oh, Anne Marie, right? From Mork Market. I'm assuming that's you. It's Untitled. unfired, but looks getting huge and has like so much drippy pattern. You can't see it because he's unfired, but literally his pattern connects all the way up to his back. Super nice. And getting huge. This thing is massive. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Well, hi GA Exotics. Yeah, it's getting really nice. Look at its like back pattern. It's a beefcake. This thing is probably, I'll weigh it for you. I don't remember what weight you purchased it at, but it is a fatty. I feel like so many of geckos that I sold were all like, yeah, we're gonna eat everything now. Yeah, 9 grams. I'm pretty sure I sold. It's at least gained a couple grams. It's fat. It's great. Did you only purchase one, or do I need to go hunting? I forget. It's really hard to keep track of everyone. Let me see. Oh, nope, you didn't. You have this yellow extreme. Oh, it's shedding. It's got shed on its head. Give me your shed. Okay. Really look at this thing. This thing is, I can't even get it to like catch on the camera. The camera doesn't even understand these things. Let me turn on the lighting. See if I can get it. It's little tail nub that it has been healing. I told you about that though. But I don't know. This thing is nutty and of course unfired, but doing well. Very fat and chonky. Yeah, so this thing is, I like can't get it to focus in, but it's a very nice yellow. But its patterning is insane. When it fires up, it like gets black all along its sides. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy nice. And it just shed. Literally, I have 3 yellows I got, and all of them are so nice. Let me see. More people talking about geckos on my thing. So yeah, it's honestly, I look at it and I'm like, I should have let it grow up even further. You're getting a score for it. Oh my gosh. You purchased 3. Okay, let me look for the other one. Tell me which the other one is. I write everybody's info on them, but it's like a okay, never mind, I found it. You did purchase 3, lady. Okay, oh my gosh. Okay, so this one also is starting to drip. This gecko is literally starting to drip already. It's going to be so nice. It's going to yeet itself onto me. But, I mean, all of these are unfired. Oh, the lights are about to go off. Let me fix it. But it is very nice. Literally another one that I was like, holy crap. That thing went full tricolor on us. Let me turn the lights back on. So nice. They're all about to turn off. My lighting is on a timer. This one's decided to go offline. Hello? Thank you. Okay, we're back. So yeah, that gecko is so nice. Nope, we're back off. And we're back. Yeah. So that's Anna. Anna got some really nice geckos. And what's exciting, I feel like, about my geckos right now is a lot of them are going to develop really nice, like nicer than I even know. So I know some of these are going to be like massive regrets that I sold them, because a lot of other breeders have bred or paired certain pairs for, years. So they know what they're going to get. They like are sure that these are going to drip or what it's going to look like when it's an adult. So they can ask really high prices. Of course, like, you know, they reasonably should ask really high prices for some of these. But being that a lot of my pairs are relatively new to me, and the like parents are really nice, I expect that some of these are going to be like stories that people tell. Like, yeah, I purchased this gecko for $250 and like posted in What's My Gecko Worth. And people are going to be like, holy shit, you got to steal. Because I expect a lot of these are going to drip. And your yellow is out of my yellow and Kygo. Like, they should blow their mind. Like, it should be insane. Like, one of Kygo is a Druid son from Zen Jex. And we all know Druid just throws crazy consistency into his kids, which is so nice. Like, knocking things over, knocking geckos over, and thankfully neither of them cared. I've never sent one yeeting before, but okay, so this is funny. So you know your gecko, and this is literally out of that pairing. That pairing is a full tricolor, and I got a yellow gecko out of it. This is like the perfect example of what the heck is happening with gecko genetics. Literally a full yellow out of the tricolor Stella and Bangarang, who has 0 yellow in their background, at least that I know of. I'm like, where did this come from? And the other one that was in this clutch mate is also like, I can't even tell its base color, but it's essentially yellow. It's doing something. It's wild. Like, but still, it literally came out of a perfect tricolor pairing, and I got a double yellow clutch. Crested geckos are weird, man. Like, I'm sitting here like, did I mix it up? Is this actually my yellow pairing? I don't know, but super weird. And I almost sent them flying. Luckily, most of your geckos come very desensitized. Is that that's what we're going to call that? They come very desensitized too. Potentially being yeeted off of the cart. Yeah. This is a Lily White pairing. So, okay, stories. That's weird because base colors are, they're dominant. It's really unusual. But it's happened. People have gotten like red patternless out of stuff that they are dark morphs, you know? Like, geckos genetics is still kind of unknown to us, like, in a way. In like why they pass what they pass sometimes. So honestly, I might, if I sell those, which I probably will sell them, I'm going to include the lineage that I had written down, but I might also be like, but they could be my yellow pairing and I made a mistake. But like, even the yellows, as you saw in Marie's, like, they don't look anything like that. They've got so much more white on them already. So I don't know. That was the first time I've ever said like, wait, what? What happened here? Like, this is odd. Everything else I've gotten kind of pretty consistent pairings. Like, if they threw something, they pretty much consistently threw within the line of that throughout the season. Obviously, some were nicer than others, but they were pretty consistent. That one, I just have no idea. Like, literally no idea. We will rotate back this way. Yeah, they carry. I do. Petsonics, Copper State Cresteds on Morph Market. That's actually my main Place I sell. That's how Anne bought geckos from me. Gecko Fidelity found me on Instagram. I post on almost every platform, but I do go through Morph Market. He is working so hard. I think his name's John, to get Morph Market to be essentially what I think is going to be the only place that we're going to be able to really sell geckos, because Facebook has cracked down on it. Instagram is owned by Facebook and they're cracking down on it. It's not like anybody eBays geckos. I think we're going to end up with like a very strong Morph Market as like our main way of listing. And it's exciting because he deserves it. He's worked his butt off for that. So yeah, I pay for a Morph Market membership to support them. And I felt like I skipped one. No, I didn't. Yeah, so I sell there. I have a lot listed on there right now. I have even more that I can list. I do not currently have up any Lilly Whites, but that's just because I fully expect the Lilly Whites that I do have are going to be insane and almost baseless. So I've been kind of refraining posting Lilly Whites because, you know, I can look at them now and be like, well, I think I'm going to list them. I could easily list them for, you know, $900 to $1,000. But like in 2 more months, they could end up completely covered and be, you know, a $1,500 Lilly White. And it's like, well, in 2 months, I could have just, you know, like, because this is a side business for me. So if holding on to them for 2 months means making another $500, it's like, it's really hard to weigh. But with that said, if you are looking for something specific that is within my region of specialty, which is tricolors and Lilly Whites, I can usually pull something out and sell it. Like if someone's like, hey, I really want a Lilly White, and they give me a reasonable budget. Because like yesterday, I had someone reach out to me on Facebook just saying, hey, any Lilly Whites available? And of course I was like, hey, I haven't listed any, but you know, I can. What's your budget? And their answer is the standard. The standard, like, we're gonna move this. Oh, my budget is, you know, anything. Like my budget is a wide range. Depends on how nice it is what they said. So like if I tell a breeder that, if I tell someone my budget is anything, you're gonna get probably out of your budget. Because I know my Lilly Whites, I'm not selling. Like I did list quite a few, and they were my lower end. They were the ones I knew weren't gonna be completely covered. They're still nice. They're still worth what I sold them for, but they're not gonna explode like others. So she says, you know, well, my budget is anything really. So I sent her stuff and I said, hey, I'm just letting you know, all of these are 4 figures. Like they're probably going to go for $1,000. Here's my holdback tricolor. This is like one of my nicer tricolors I got. The only tricolor that she really threw me, like that kind of resembled her. Bye-bye. Yeeted itself. So of course, you know, I take the time to take photographs of like Lilly Whites that I could let go of that I think are going to be almost baseless. Like they're going to be completely covered. And I was like, hey, these are, where did we put our bowl? Oh, it's right in front of me. I was like, hey, these, you know, these are 4 figures and probably $1,000 I'd let them go for. And what was their response? Oh, that's out of my price range. I was like, well then, why did you tell me you had no budget? Like, don't waste my time. Don't waste yours. Say a budget, because I'll pull something out that I would be willing to let go in that budget. You know? Like, then they get to, oh, that's out of my budget. Then say it, and it's respectable. Like, if you have a budget of $500 for a Lilly White, there are $500 Lilly Whites out there. I just don't have them. I paired up very, very nice Lilly White pairings. Like they were expensive. You know, some of my most expensive purchases in here were those Lilly Whites. And, you know, it reflects in their children. But everybody's been there. You know, you're buying, my first couple geckos were $200 geckos. And then I kind of honed what I wanted and got more specific. Yeah, let me text. I'm supposed to be playing Destiny tonight. I'm a gamer. I'm a nerd, y'all. I play video games as well. So I'm going to be playing Destiny tonight after this. Oh, here's another one of my holdbacks that I very rarely show off my holdbacks on things. So that's kind of my struggle. Oh, why is this wet? You literally just peed on this? No, I just misted it. I'm very blonde sometimes, guys. It's like, did you just pee on me? No. Okay. So here's one of my holdbacks from this pairing. Oh, and then you said, do I only sell on Morph Market? I don't know. Sorry, you're far away, guys. I also will sell through Facebook, PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, all of those things. So this is one I'm holding back. I think it's going to have really nice highlighted pins. I don't love that its pattern on its side didn't get as orange as I expected. But I think it's going to have really nice patterning. Its sides are really, really white. We'll see if its pattern spreads some more. But I keep a pretty small gecko room. If you can't tell, I keep a pretty small gecko room. So we will see if it makes it, if it makes the cut. Now this gecko is the most money I have spent on a baby that was not a Lilly white. I'm gonna try to live stream more. This is the most money I've ever spent on a baby gecko, guys. And it's because I know what it's gonna do. Like, it's going to be so incredibly nice. So it should be covered in almost all white, this gecko, with that other patterning behind it of orange. It is from the same breeder that my Identity Crisis is from. So if you've been on my Instagram and seen Identity Crisis, same breeder, Eric Favez of Derby City. He is not highly known because he doesn't post often. He only posts when he's selling something. And it's usually a cell phone photo of his hand with the gecko on it. And you need to be ready to buy it and have caught him posting it within 30 minutes, sometimes minutes, because it goes so fast. And he only pairs, I want to say like 5 pairings, and they make the craziest, nicest stuff. But like, you need to be ready, and you need to be lucky. I was lucky for that one. I literally saw it. I messaged him immediately, was like, I want it, I'll take it, I'll pay you, like right now. And then everyone was commenting after, like, I'm so sad I missed it. Like, oh my gosh, every time I miss it. And I'll miss another one. He'll post another one, and it's like, it goes so quickly. And why do I have a full bowl? Who did I not feed? You. I fed this one its bugs, but not its food. Okay. Another row. All of these will eat bugs too. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure if they're going to respond as well to these things, but I wanted to switch up what I was feeding. So I bought these, and my worry, though, is they turn into flies. They turn into really ugly flies, guys. So I got like a scoop of them, but I'm worried I'm going to end up with too many at the end of all this. And then I'm going to have like a shit ton of flies. Sorry, pardon my language. We'll see. Because I've heard like they're up there with Dubia Roaches on the like nutrition scale of feeding. Okay. You need it. But like some of these are monster eaters. So let's see if they take to it. The one I just had out always eats its live bugs. So I'm going to see if it'll latch onto them. Because he usually will. He'll usually see him and like go straight for him. But it's not. So I'm slightly concerned. Oh, there it goes. Eat it, please. It's just staring at them. Take a bite of one. I promise it's good. It's just staring at them. How sad. Dubia Roaches, yeah, right? They don't fly. I just pulled you up, and AJ was like, "Is that your gecko and your dragon eye?" Hi, AJ. Hi, Dragon. Guys, Dragon is a gaming friend that got me into Crested Geckos. Dragon is the lady. Oh, you're not eating them. What a disappoint. You're doing a disappoint. Oh, guys, I don't think they're going to want them. Eat them. Oh, this is so sad. Fine. You spoiled little heathens. Zombie says hi. I'm feeding them black soldier fly larvae. I wanted to try something different. And these are literally like the best feeder. Like it's on the ranking of like one of the best feeders. And these jerks aren't going to eat them. I mean, the dubias, they're addicted to dubias. Like, it's such a problem. So, honestly, okay. I wouldn't want that shit either. Yo, they're so good. And I've had people tell me, like, they take, what is it? They take mealworms. So they're like, why wouldn't they take black soldier fly larvae? Well, because they're spoiled. They like their Dubia roaches. That's why. So, okay. So honestly, what's going to happen here is if these little jerks don't eat them, I think I'm going to freeze kill them. So it's not like torture, but it's still bugs. And blend them up and put them in their food. I don't want to waste them, you know? It's like literally, otherwise they'll be wasted. Oh, I probably should post that I'm live too. Let me tell Instagram. Okay. There we go. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. They smell different. Of course they smell different. Little assholes. Addicted to dubias. There's one staring at its bowl. Just staring at it. But not eating them. I promise they're good. Eat them. Now, what I will say, if you get a Stella baby from me, I can almost guarantee they're going to eat these. Because Stella kids are voracious eaters. Some of my best eaters are Stella kids. Okay, we're done with racks. Racks on racks on racks. I didn't give you a bowl. Fail. Okay. We have Wednesday's leftover dubias here. Okay, so we'll see. My plan then is just I'll put them in their food. They're like the superior food is Dubia Roaches, and that is all we want. Okay, adult feeding time. I don't have my step stool in here. Short people problems. The struggle. Oh. So I only need 7 because these two are there and there. The males are. So we'll give those a little bit extra. Oh, also, did I bring it in here? I'll be right back. I have to go get my calcium. I got my calcium in today. I don't think I brought it in here. I didn't. Let me squeeze by. No. I've been meaning to, sorry, I'm knocking stuff. Y'all are along for a ride. Been meaning to supplement my room, my adult females this season. So tell me what I need. She did not include a dosing chart. Oh, girl, I would never use a red runner. No offense. Heck no. Gotham, Geckos, calcium. Did not come with a dosing chart. So we're looking it up. Dosing chart. Here it is. They terrify me. Right. So everybody is in love with these. I'm in love with these. And I cannot recommend the person for tragic, sad reasons. I recommended him to a friend, to Maddie, Tyler Ruggie and Maddie, and they do YouTube. So I recommended this cage builder to Maddie. She ordered a rack like this, gave him her money, and he did not send them for a year, did not refund her for a year. And she was about to have to go to court, and I had to tell her, here's what you can do to go to court and all of that. And finally, they refunded her. Okay, what brand of calcium? So this is liquid calcium Bug Delights. It's from Gotham Geckos. So when I dose my females, I like to use a liquid. I ran out or didn't. I had more in my other one, but I didn't trust that it didn't expire. So I just ordered a new one because I'm crazy like that. I was like, I don't know how good this liquid stays. Probably fine. Probably should do more. Either way, yeah, it's really horrible. So they finally refunded Maddie her like $1,500 or like she had either paid him $1,500 or like $2K. Right? Like I don't know. I don't understand. They're all so picky right now. So, oh no, I've heard that. I've actually heard that. So she has a tortoise. Dragon has a tortoise, and that is Nugget. So yes, so this is from Gotham Geckos. I like to, I like to use it for my adult females once a year. If you notice, I have a couple that I noticed they just weren't holding weight. So I like to recommend that if your females after breeding season lost a lot of weight, aren't holding weight, I like to be a little bit careful and dose them with calcium in their food once a month, kind of right going into breeding season. 0.02. Because like it's just safe, and most of the time it's very hard to go over on calcium, especially because none of my adults eat bugs willingly. So I got the banana flavor just because I find that geckos love banana. Oh no. I just read your message, Dragon. I'm sorry, I love you. So that's what I was talking about. Calcium. Going into breeding season, it doesn't hurt to dose them once with calcium. Most of my adults don't take bugs anymore. Most of them go off of it right about that time. This is Hannah. Oh my gosh, you got Axwell? Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. Right. So you had, you forgot the female baby's name. Hi, Hannah. Thank you for being such a gem and dealing with that bullshit. Yeah, I just added it to their food. Not Axel. I know what you mean. Axel came to you with the female and we did the flip. His baby, right? So, yeah. Right? But I did give you the... Yeah. It was like the... I don't remember what happened. Something like that. Was it you? I don't know. Honestly, life has been crazy. Hello. Something like that. Oh, speaking of shipping, I do have a story. So I added this straight to their food. So these are some of my breeding females. I will dose her. She held weight pretty good, but I haven't dosed her with calcium at all. So I will dose all of them with calcium today because they are starting to get paired. I'm putting it right on their food and kind of stirring it up. So I'm giving them the right dose, but they're not going to eat all of this. I don't want to overdose calcium. So I'm not super worried. I'll only do it once. I'll see how they hold weight. I'll see how they hold weight and I'll see how they lay. If they lay anything that has looks a little glossy, has some windows in it, then I will dose again in a month. But really, I don't like to overdo it with calcium. I think once a year is probably enough. But you gotta just kind of know your geckos, and you gotta feel them out. Yes, Axel and Stella. Then OMG, I'm going to get the names. Kygo and Ravenette baby. Yes, the really, really, really nice one that I think is going to be one of the nicest that they produced. I remember now. I knew who you were, but I wasn't sure which baby. I'm like, I know she got a nice baby that went to her. Yeah, honestly, that thing is going to be wildly nice. How is it doing? Okay, so shipping story. I keep getting distracted by it, by conversing. So this week, I have a lot of geckos on hold. Obviously, a couple people are in here. They have geckos here that are on hold, winter hold, because my weather is beautiful, but the rest of the country is in a shitstorm of a snowstorm. So I went to ship this week to 2 southern states. Memphis looked good, and so I was like, okay, yes, we can ship. And I send them out. One's going to Alabama and one's going to Texas. Well, Texas decided to have a snowstorm. Memphis decided to be slow with this box and did not get the gecko out overnight. And I knew I had a 2-day window. I always like to make sure I've got 2 days, of nice weather. I was like, oh, that's no big deal. It'll be fine. Like if it gets there, the next day, then it was supposed to. No big deal, right? So it spends overnight in Memphis, doesn't get out on the plane, gets out that next day, gets to Austin, Texas, sits on a truck at the airport, not unpacked. Let me see. I love him to bits, but he's so finicky. Really? Oh my gosh. What are you feeding? So he totally ate bugs here. I'm pretty positive he ate dubias here. If you're feeding crickets, are you feeding crickets? He ate Dubia roaches here. And try adding fresh fruit to your mix. That's my 2 recommendations. Okay, so they then sit in Austin on a truck, mind you, in below 40 degrees. 40 is when I want to ship. It was like 36. I'm like, okay, they should be okay for one night. Like, we'll be okay for one night. Next day, she goes to pick them up, hoping like they're there. It's closed. The hub is completely closed. And nothing, like no word, no updates. We're terrified that they're just sitting on a truck in Austin. It's going to be 20 degrees low. And I'm like crying. I literally was crying. Like I lost these geckos. Like I can't even believe, like I've had nothing go wrong with, I've had delays, but I pack well. I know I can pack for a day or 2 delay. But this was like the literal perfect storm where then Austin gets hit with a snowstorm of all things. And so it's closed for another day. The next day she goes and shows up. It's closed again on Friday. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, there's no way. They're in, literally, it's not even getting above 40 during the day. I'm freaking out. Which fruits? Peaches, apricots, bananas. So those. So it is a horror story, but it's not. It has a happy ending. So I'm literally crying. The girl's literally crying that it's going to this amazing home. It was one of my retired breeders that I was like attached to. And I was like, I'm losing it. So Friday we get an update that it's available for pickup, even though she literally went there at 9 a.m. and they were closed. And she goes, and I told her, I was like, okay, they've been in transit and this was this week drag, and it just happened yesterday. So I'm like, I have a friend who does my shipping, labels for me. And this one I actually got through Debbie. So I had 2 people working on this. And they, FedEx doesn't know what the hell is going on half the time. I'm just like convinced, I pack really good, but not for 5 days in 20-degree lows. And it's not even getting above 40 during the day. I was just like, I'm I was literally, the girl and I were just like, we're hoping for a miracle. I told her, I was like, when you get them, you need to bring them up to temperature really slow. Like make sure, you know, they don't have a shock. And the reason I sold her this female was quite literally like she wasn't a breeder. She used to be a vet tech. She understands like, you know, rescues and stuff. And she wasn't a rescue. She's just a retired breeder. But she just wanted a pet that she could enjoy. But I happened to get somebody that knew what they were doing. So she gets the box. She opens it. The baby, it was an adult female and a baby, like a 4-gram baby. I'm like, there's no way this thing survived. Baby's fine. She's like, the adult looks like she's sleeping, but I'm hoping she's not dead. But she's like, I don't want to open the bin and stress her more. I want to like slowly bring her up to temperature. I'm too short. I'm too short for this. But she's like, it's not looking good. And I'm like crying. She's crying. We're like freaking heartbroken if this has happened. She brings her up to temperature. She starts to bring her up over like an hour. She's doing like 10 degrees every 30 minutes. She texts me that it's fine, that it came back. It was literally in like hibernation mode because of how cold it was. And they're doing fine. Like by a freaking miracle, both of them are fine. So like, what? I can't even. Oh, Chevy Exotics. You gotta get them off of Dubias then. Because that will be bad for them. Thank God, right? I mean, like, Erica, I was literally crying. I was crying. Like, I've never lost something. Like, I've never had one pass away in transit. I've never had, even here, like, I've never had even a failure to thrive. Like every single one of my geckos lives and is fine and is healthy. And like, and literally it turned out okay. So the good news about things that I've learned. I had a friend who does the shipping. She does all the huge expos. Her and her boyfriend, husband, I don't know. They have kids and they're like domestic partners, we're going to say. I have 2 more females to feed with calcium. So before I put this away, we'll do them. Actually, 3 more. So she ships all year round, all the time. And she was like, I literally had a large, will be unnamed gecko breeder, one of the biggest ones in the country, ship me a gecko in an uninsulated box with no phase 22 or anything in 19-degree weather. She goes, and the gecko arrived fine. And now this isn't, you should never do this, but this was like her, like, it's going to be okay. Like they're going to arrive. It's not ideal, but like I promise you they'll likely be alive. And so that is the good news. Don't do it. Don't risk it. But the good news is they can survive cold way better than they can survive hot. Hot is a death sentence. If that had happened and it was going to be too warm, it's a death sentence. 100%. But cold weather, because they're, you know, reptiles, they kind of can shut off their processes and survive a little bit, which is good. Even without delays is stressful. Yeah, it had a good outcome. Delays are shipping. This was literally why I told everyone else, I was like, you're waiting until March. Anyone that reaches out to me, like, you're waiting, because it's not worth it. It's so not worth it. It's like your gecko is here. It is happy. It is thriving. It is getting fat. Like, I promise you. And everyone that asks me for updates, sorry, we're rotating here because I'm going to feed these. I will always send updates. Obviously, if it gets like, can I have an update? And you're asking me, you know, every single week, I will try. We'll try to get you an update. But I can't always promise that they will be timely. But like, tail nips happen, bad shed happens, that kind of stuff. I try to keep people updated during winter holds. And I told you about that one with his tail. Freaking A. Happens. Like, but I always update people if I can, if they're here on a winter hold, you know? Hi, you have chin wrinkles. They're really cute. Adult females that get chin wrinkles is just, it's too much cute. Like, they're not fat, but they've got wrinkles on their chin. So I have 3 large females over in these 18 by 18 by 24s. Most of my geckos thrive in 10 gallons or those racks over there. I know there's like this huge thing out there that's like, bigger is better. It's not. It's a lie. What your gecko likes is best. Like, some geckos don't want bigger. Some geckos get stressed as hell, like this girl. Some geckos get stressed as all hell in a bigger enclosure, and they'll start dropping weight and being spastic. And that means bigger is not always better. So I am a believer in, honestly, most geckos are going to be happy in a 10 or a 20. Those are 17 by 12 by 24. And all my adults are happy in there. But these are fatties, as I say. The ones in there are huge. We're going to rotate to here. Your tanks that are actually tanks, they are bioactive, Erica. They are. Ever shipped as tarantula, and it's like, literally, I love your gecko so much. Thank you so much. I will go live on Insta sometime. Mystery unboxing. Absolutely. I liked this because it's a full setup and it can use like my actual mic right here and my camera. To go live on Instagram, it needs to be, I think, my phone, right? And that was like I could be live on Instagram right now, I guess, technically. He's not in here because he's breeding with Dreamcatcher right now. So Cartel. So the ones I keep in here are 50 grams plus. This is a 50 gram male. He's huge. Like, unreal. She is probably 55. These 2 are also probably 55. And the only reason I put them in there is because they want to be fat. Any rack sellers you recommend? Yes. 6 quart tanks and 15. Yep. Sea Serpent. This enclosure, this whole rack, is Sea Serpent. They're the tall shoe bin. This rack is a local person. He doesn't ship yet, but he is 5150 reptile cages and enclosures. He's building me another one of these. So I'm gonna have a second one that's going over there to take place of that whole section that I fed over on that one, of another 24. But Sea Serpent, 100% amazing. His name is Chris. Really good service. He forgot. It was during like his heavy season, like busy season. So he kind of spaced on me past the 6-week mark, and I emailed him, and he was like, "I'll get it shipped this week. I'm so sorry that I delayed." But he's great to work with. Gecko named Cartel. I would. I literally had a Stella baby that I named Dreamcatcher. Do you? Amazing. So yeah. So Sea Serpent makes those size. I don't know what size they are, but they're tall shoebox bin, and these for a really good price. I want to say it's $385 for an 18 tall, and that includes shipping, which is huge because shipping is outrageously expensive. Yeah, outrageously expensive. So I think he ships for it's like 45 or 85 on top, so it's like 300 for the total. And he does a good job. This was a little bit cheaper just because it was a little bit less material that needed to be put into it. He's got nice turn times. He's just all around really nice. Okay. Let's see. We are going to see if anybody will eat these. Otherwise, they're turning into protein powder for the geckos after this feeding. Okay. There's 6. Also, bowls-wise, because we're here and I might as well talk about all the things I use. I use silicone bowls from Cork. I think they're Corch, C-O-R-C-H Geckos. They sell them for the most reasonable price I've been able to find that isn't a wholesaler. 2 girls, 2 sisters in New Mexico that own that gecko company. And I want to say you get 55 for $20. So 55 of these bowls for $20 is pretty darn good. So yeah, I use these because they're reusable. I prefer that. I don't think many of these are going to eat them. Oh no, I'm going to eat my hat because you're one of them and your blur kid is currently eating them. You little chunky. I told you it's freaking huge. It's so fat. Looks like you might have room for a tarantula. Don't even. OMG, please tell me I need those little glass cups. Oh, yes. Absolutely. So these, you can see the bugs in them, are tea light holders. They are tea light holders from IKEA. I don't know if you have IKEA near you, but these are literally brilliant. They come in a pack of 5 for $4. Like, amazing. The other one is this size. These little bowls are in the hamster section of Petco PetSmart, and they're like $1.50, so they're a little more expensive. Tarantulas are spooky. Hi, Brad. They're so spooky. I can't with you and your tarantulas. Bless. You are so welcome. I literally have more on order right now, but tea light candle holders, pack of 5, IKEA. I use them for water bowls for my adults, as you can see in here. All of my adults have them for water bowls. And the greatest part is if you want to feed out of them, I don't have them right now, but 0.5 ounce cups fit in them. So if you get the 0.5 ounce and you want to use these for bowls, you can pop them in the top. No, you have one named after you. Don't even. Carbon. Yes, Dragon named one of her tarantulas after one of my characters that I play in roleplay. And she's such a badass tarantula. I'm not gonna lie, that tarantula is just really cool. But you need to tell the crowd what kind of tarantula it is. Because I don't know. It's like a Colombian. I don't know. Something special. Okay, guys. So I have one special gecko. No, I have 2 special geckos. 2 special geckos that hatched out here that will be pet only. This is one of them. This gecko hatched out at like a gram, and I didn't think it was going to make it because it was literally so tiny. It is thriving though. It's beautiful. Literally, like, it's going to be so nice. I'm so sad it came out of my best pairing. It was less than a gram. I want to say it was like 0.75. I swore it was just not going to make it. So it is going to be a special home gecko. When it does go to a home, it will be like one of those that just somebody wants a gecko that's going to be adorable and cute. But it's going to stay here until it gets big and fat. Yeah, it hatched out in July, and that's how tiny it still is. Costa Rica zebra. Right, I knew it was some sort of nationality. I knew it was some kind of country name. Colombian Costa Rica zebras. It's so pretty. And then I have one other special gecko, and it hatched out with a head bump on it and a wavy tail. And I don't know what happened, if it was like a fluctuation in incubation. What is so sad about this gecko is it is going to be the prettiest one out of that pair. Like, if this gecko didn't have a head bump, I'm like, not even kidding, it would probably sell for $500 to $800. But instead, it did have a head bump and it had different plans. So it will also go to a pet home. And quite literally, it's going to be beautiful. Do you sell dubias? I do not sell them. I have a gargoyle that was hatched out with one eye and deformed jaw. I know, like that's the thing, is like, they will stay here. Like, they will have a home here unless I find somebody who specifically wants like a special gecko. Because that gecko has nothing wrong with it. It's just going to be really small and a little bit harder to keep weight on. And then I'll show you guys the other one. Let me find it here. This gecko would have been the nicest one from this pairing too. Let me do this really quick. So I'm so sad. I don't know what happened, why it hatched out this way. And its head bump is gone now. And it dropped its wavy tail. So here it is. Where's the video? I can get it to focus on it. Look at how nice it is, though. I can get it to cooperate with me. Focus on the baby gecko. It doesn't want to focus on it. Sorry, my nail stuck. But either way, there it kind of goes. It's going to be covered in white. It's beautiful. You want a special gecko? Maybe I'll send you one of these, Dragon. Because this thing is literally beautiful. But because of the head bump, it's going to go to someone, that wants a pet. Its head bump is gone. But I want to be responsible. I don't want someone to get it that has the potential to breed it and then have it be something genetic, that I doubt it's genetic because all of its other siblings are fine. I think it was, but who knows? It might have a hard time, breeding. It might have calcium issues, a number of things that could go wrong with it. So it will be going to a pet-only home. Its sibling, though, is my other holdback. Because look at this thing. It's covered in pattern. Of course, it won't, zoom in on these, but the thing is nutty. It's really nice. Will you please focus on it? Kind of. You can kind of see it. Yeah, so the head bump did go down in time. It was really prominent. It was like a literal bubble on its head. And its head bump has since, where'd it go? Its head bump has since pretty much gone away. And that's normal. People have told me they've had them hatch out with head bumps and go away, but it did show signs of some neurological issues because it had a wavy tail that stayed wavy. Which you'll see, people will say, why is my gecko's tail wavy? And it's usually dehydration, but it literally hatched out that way. And it stayed that way. So, yeah. Trying to figure out where I ended, where I stopped. Here. So it was something neurological, so it'll go to just a pet home. Otherwise, it's going to be so pretty, it could happily stay here. Yeah. Or I'll send it to Dragon. How many grams are they now? These are 3 to 5 grams, this whole rack. 3 to 5 grams. That rack, I move them in there at 6 grams until 12 to 15. and then I'll move them up, or they'll usually be sold by then, if I'm honest. But I keep them in their clutch mate pairs until about 8 grams. That's about when they start to munch on each other's tails. But what I will say is they do grow better in a pair with their clutch mate. They definitely do. So that's why I've been keeping them together. Awesome. That's what I was trying to gauge, how long you kept them with their clutch mate. Yep, exactly. So those are all singles pretty much. I have 2 in there that are still in their clutch mates because they're still about 5 grams each. But yeah, I would prefer to be able to split them up sooner, but with how many, there's just not enough space. And I'd rather be able to give better care than, have tons of stacks of bins that you have to open. It's like, there is a time requirement that you have to be able to be willing to gauge of if I keep them together and, it doesn't take me as long to I can clean them out more often and be on top of it better. And then by the time, they're older, I can sell them. Hey, how are you? Where did you get those racks? I know. This rack came from a cage builder that is no longer building, is the best way to put it. He went under during COVID. He stopped building. He took people's money. I was very sad because I had recommended a lot of people to him because these are brilliant racks and they're gorgeous. But he stopped building and held on to people's money for almost a year, sadly. If they grow better with their clutch mates anyway, I would do it that way too. Yeah, they do. And so the downside, there is a downside. The downside is tail nips. Tail nips did happen more often. None had healing issues, which is good. They just ended up with tail nips. And most of my geckos, if I'm honest, are going to people who understand geckos. So most understand that a tail nip is not an issue. It doesn't affect them. It's just the potential of them dropping a tail. But that is the downside. They can get tail nips more easily this way. But if I tell you that the big breeders all do this, it's just a space requirement at the end of the day. Hi, you're back. Welcome back. My most expensive gecko that I ever bought, I bought with a tail nip. And her tail is cute and stumpy. Okay, where did I end? The yellows. I have literally a whole row of my yellows all together. Other than this flippin' blur kid, I don't know if anybody's going to eat these calcium worms. It's still staring at them. I actually don't know if it's actually eating them. It's still staring at them, though. My most expensive geckos haven't arrived. Oh, my gosh. I understand that life. Been there. Done that. She was my most expensive purchase, and she wasn't even a Lilly white, which is crazy. I don't know if they know what to do with these, because that one is just sitting there and staring at them still, but it's not eating them. It's what do I do with this food that you've offered me? I don't understand. Hoping they figure out that they can eat them. We'll see. Or else they just are going to be ground up into protein powder for them, for their food. I don't want them to go to waste. But I also have my my other gecko. Maybe it'll eat them, or I'll send them to friends that have beardies that could eat them. Okay, what'd you guys say? Oh, what am I scooping up? These are black soldier fly larvae. We are trying them for the first time, and it's so far not a hit. I usually feed Dubia Roaches twice a week, and I went down to my favorite reptile store, and they had, black soldier fly larvae. So, yeah. 8 bugs over at your place. I'll try to get a solid cut for them. Yes. Yeah, I don't hand feed them. So maybe that'll help you. Maybe that's a key. Just put them in a bowl and let them sit in there, because I do not have time to hand feed. And then they can just stare at them and catch them themselves, like that little one. Eat them. Eat them, dude. Stop staring at them. Okay. We're on to this bin. I probably will end up back in here tomorrow just to clean bins. Okay, so also, whoever asked about these racks, there are some companies making racks now that are trustworthy. I want to say Wisconsin CC, Wisconsin Custom Cages, I think it is. They're making stuff. Do you keep your females that were bred in bioactives during lay season? I do. I keep everything in bioactive. But that's incredible eater and two that would rather be finicky. I understand that life. Sometimes it just happens. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. The 2 racks. Oh wait, mystery unboxing. Did you mean anything else in that? Sorry, I meant the small tubs with the white vents in front of you. Oh, sorry. Yes, I love these for Judy's. I'm trying to keep up with this. So these racks this one was built by a local person, but they're just the 6 quarts. I drill my own hole in them. I will show you, because the drill happens to be in here. Circular saw attached to a drill. And I buy the vents from Round Vents. This is the company. Here they are. For extra ventilation. So drill the vent in, they pop in. I get the tab type. They have tabs on the back side of them. No, okay, so Erica, if you can see, yeah, you can see this one. I pile it up on one side. You can see how much deeper the substrate is over here. And I put extra sphagnum moss on this side. Noah Bounds at, what is the name? Oklana Zoological does it this way, and he recommended it because I was running into, you can see, I had all of my bowls that once held sphagnum moss in them, and I would put those in there, and they would never lay in them. They would lay wherever the hell they wanted. So this almost always they will lay where it's deeper. So all of my big ladies have a corner of extra high bedding, and that's where they try to go to. And then like once a week, I'll go digging. And I make sure to water the corners extra. And yeah, it works out well. Okay. Trying to figure out where I left off again. So yeah, highly recommend if you want to go bioactive. This route works really nicely. Yeah, you are so welcome. I mean, it's like, honestly, I had other people that helped me, so I'm always happy to help other people because I have had great mentors that have given me what I think is great success with my geckos. I've had, no issues, knock on wood, with anything. Like even that tiny gecko that hatched out at like 0.75 grams is thriving. I also will say I do keep my room heated. That is a big thing with babies and your success at keeping them eating. Oh, that's the other thing I should have told you. Hannah, is warmth. So they will eat more in a warmer room. So I will show you guys. I have a heater. You'll see my messy storage room. I have a heater down there. It is connected to a thermostat, and that works. Have my room set to 76, I think, right now. Yeah, it is set to 76. It is currently 76 in here. Yeah, that is gonna, that is your thing, girl. Keep them warmer. But the thing is I have the luxury of it being a whole room just for them. I have a strip under my door to also like that goes to the floor that keeps the heat in here. So it's lower cost. I lose less to air conditioning. I oftentimes close. I have half of that closed during the winter for when it cools off in here. So that AC isn't coming in and ruining my heat bill, you know? So I keep them at 76. I find that here's the other thing. I am not the end all be all. There are different breeders that do different things. So you took over oh, that's perfect. You took over the office. Awesome. That's my recommendation. Keep them warmer. Keep them warmer. Do it. But I have taken kind of bits and pieces from breeders that I trust and that are doing well and have successful breeding programs. So the other thing that I do, I do not change my cycles. I do not down cycle my females. And that is off of Zenjex. I talked to Chase pretty extensively when I got into breeding about what he does with his pairings. And Chase, he lives in Texas, so he has the same kind of winters as me, which are a little bit warmer. The sun stays up a little bit longer, even in the winter. And he does not have a down season. He lets the females tell him what they need. So this female got paired in January, and beginning of January, because she's a virgin. She's been to wait for a while now. So she's been ready to pair, but a lot of people would be like, oh no, that's too early. But he literally, Chase is like, if you have females that come to wait in November and they're 2 years old, pair them. Like, they're going to, I've never had a female not naturally down cycle herself is where I'm going with this conversation. I've never had a female continue to lay past 8 or 9 months. They all naturally will try and cycle themselves down. This winter, I did not change my light schedule, but you can. That's what I mean by down cycling. People will cool their room in the winter, and they will change their light cycle to match what it is outside. But I spoke with people that said, no, I pair year round, and after a female's done laying or stops laying, I give them 3 months before I pair them again. Did you drop your tail? Yes, I dropped my tail. Also, don't mind me talking to my geckos in a baby voice. I'm losing track of what I'm doing. What are you up to? Where did you just go? Oh, you didn't drop your tail. I thought you did. I just didn't see it. I was like, wait. I didn't think you did. Okay. And yeah, sometimes I come in here. Oh, actually, all the times I come in here, if a baby has dropped his tail, I never find it. They eat them. You prefer frog butts? They are cute, right? Sea serpents. Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes. Do you know the Tubbs rack, bottom left? Yeah, sea serpents. They are the tall iris bins from Container Store. And Sea Serpents made them for me. Oh, hi guys. You are always wild in here. Like, there are certain pairings that just do make wilder babies. I swear it. And their parents were totally chill. Completely chill. The babies? Crazy. Totally crazy. And I do not know a rhyme or reason behind it. Could not tell you why. Okay. I've got a couple bigger bowls. These bowls are dirty, one, but they are from the reptile section at PetSmart, Petco. I will show you them after we clean this one out. Because geckos like to eat and then poop in them right after. I like them because they're escape proof. You can see they have a lip on them. I feed the larger dubias, my medium dubia size in these, because they can't get out. And that fact, it's lovely. But today, we're using them because I'm out of other bowls. I'm hoping these little jerks will eat them. That's smart because it would help them get back the fat. Yep. They do. They eat them. Yeah, the babies eat their tails. Do you have a favorite gecko? And do you plan on expanding your gecko collection? I have a favorite. It is in here. I will show you her. She's a little wild. All of them are. Come here. Thank you. Crazy. Her name is Cheat Codes. She is my most expensive gecko. She is sending herself into oblivion, and she's also gravid. This is her. She is incredible. Look at the noggin on this gecko. Splat, you can hear it, right? It goes splat. She's beautiful. She was produced by Tara Leah's Crested's TLC. She's glorious. So the question of expanding is tough because I have expanded, and every year I breed, I expand naturally because of, we have 60 more eggs laid. But I would like to keep it small. I would like to keep it at this many pairings. I'm doing 12 pairings this year, 11 pairings. Yeah, she's gorgeous. I have one with even crazier head structure, also from Tara Leah's Cresteds. And she makes some crazy structured geckos. And they don't look crazy structured when you buy them. And then their head explodes between like 30 and 40 grams. And you're like, where did you come from? Holy crap. So that's Cartel, who's paired with Dreamcatcher right now. He has a freaking like UFO plane head. It's huge, but he's crazy. I would love to show you him, but he is literally crazy. He will like jump away in a hot second. But she is my favorite, and then this one down here is my favorite as well. I would say that that one is just harder to come by. It's harder to come by that nice structure with that thick white. So she's a little bit more special to me. I don't think I would ever, I've gotten a crazy number on this one down here from someone in Korea that I said, I can't do it. She'll probably stay here for the rest of her life with me and be retired here unless it's the right situation for her to probably be loaned out, maybe. I would probably still keep her here, though, on a loan, if I'm honest. Well, hi. Hi. You guys still have your other bowls? Okay, well, you messed up your foliage. Sorry. If these adults don't eat these, I'm going to be so sad. Okay, so let's go back. How many baby geckos do you produce every year on average? So, had a huge head. He did. So he was my next biggest, if not the largest head I've ever had. I loved him, but I had too much of his lines going on here. He was produced by someone else in Europe. So last year I produced about 60 babies, and I don't know why I just poured this because I already have another bowl. It's fine. Yeah, last year I had 60 babies hatch out. This year I will probably have more hatch out, which means there's probably a high likelihood I'll send a good bunch to some friends that vend. If I don't sell enough online, I will probably do that. Just because I'm going to have probably another 100 that hatch out this year. And that's a struggle. Like, that's a lot of geckos for one person to care for. So we'll see. Because the struggle also becomes that I am replacing as I go nicer, and I'm growing out. So you need the space to grow out really nice geckos that you don't want to have to spend the high dollar on. So, you know, it becomes a bit of a struggle to quote unquote stay small but stay relevant in the gecko community. So my goal is I'm probably going to sell most. They're just not to weight yet. I sell most by like 4 or 5 grams is when I start listing. And then by the time they ship out, they're a little bit bigger too. But a lot of them just aren't to weight yet to be able to list. So I have another one of those racks coming to expand over there. I have another rack I could fit in here. But again, it's not necessarily ideal because it's just me. And you've seen, I mean, granted, we're chatting, but it takes a good hour and a half. We're at an hour and a half right now. So if I like wanted to bust through this, I could have done this in an hour probably. But that's still a lot of your time, you know, and I work full time. And could use the help eventually of a partner, Brad. That would be nice. I have some isopods in this corner that I'm going to mist right now. Keep misted. So yeah, we're done. We're successfully done. So yeah, usually I can get through. The leg has fallen off the track. Okay, we're back on. I can usually feed the room in about an hour, but chatting, hour and a half, hanging out, showing off geckos, socializing, turned into an hour and a half. I also was supposed to be playing games with Brad. I'll have to go play with him soon. We're playing Destiny. So yeah, that is my gecko room feeding. Super exciting, right? And the other thing is, though, is I could go taller if I needed to. Would you trade goat for gecko? Brad. Yes, dragon. Yes is the answer. She's on to us, Brad. So the other part you didn't see is down in this corner. I have a why can't I think? A wine fridge for my incubation, because this room is 76, so I don't want to incubate at 76, so I have a wine fridge that is set to 71. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. Honestly, to have 50 of you watching me feed geckos is pretty cool. So I probably will try to do this once a week. I feed Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so it might be during the week that I try and stream. I like being able to give you guys updates. I'm currently building my geckos. How many isopod species? I'm horrible at isopods. I only have 2 species. I have one collector's, which is a Panda King. So I have Cuberis Panda King. And then I have powder oranges that are also turning into powder blues. Don't ask me how. I had other ones that I failed. I'm not going to lie. They did really, really, really good. And I think they just kind of bred too much and I was pulling too much from them that they kind of just stopped breeding. And then eventually the adults just passed away. I think in time, you probably need to cycle some new ones in to your stock and not be pulling as heavily. Because I obviously am feeding off of them or filling my tanks with them. So I also had dairy cows, and dairy cows, like, they're in all my tanks, but they're not in an enclosure anymore. Whoops. I mean, they die. Like, bugs die, in age, in time. They kind of stopped breeding, and then the adults just passed, and the babies I had kind of pulled too heavily, like I said, into my bioactives. I don't know. They're very specific that if you're not keeping, the Panda Kings like it moist. They're happy with moisture, so I can just get it too wet and it's great. Powder oranges will live through the apocalypse, I swear. So you can get them soaking wet or not. But if you have, who was that? Who's jumping? Oh, someone is lighting off fireworks outside. So that's going to be fantastic for the tail drops. If you have some that are really sensitive to moisture and humidity, I'm probably not going to be able to keep them, let's be honest. Oh, and that was the other thing. Someone asked me about my dubias. I have a colony. I have my own colony. I don't know if anybody wants to see them. So I have a dark bin, a huge 55-gallon or something like that bin that's black. I have holes drilled and I have a couple 2-inch vents in there. They probably have 400 to 500 adults. And yeah, that is how I get my dubias. I have a bunch of different isopods. Thank you so much. DA, I could use the tips. I loved my isopods. And my Panda Kings are doing incredible, and my powder oranges are doing incredible. I just don't know what happened with the dairy cows. They kind of just stopped producing for me, and then the adults were like, we're old and we're out. We're done here. So I would love tips. I also have springtails. I've got 2 bins of springtails because I pull those for bioactive constantly. But still, I will say that is my weak point, keeping isopods thriving. Sure, let's see your dubias. Do you actually want to see my dubias? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to commit to this? You're going to see my corner of construction over here. But here's my Dubia roach bin and you can see my thing, my wine fridge incubation. You can see my box, but this is my massive Dubia roach bin. Ugh, they're monsters. Y'all are monsters. This is because the Dubia roach bin, being what it is, gets aphid flies sometimes. But yeah, here's the Dubia roach bin. Large, ugly bin that it is. And then we lock it up. And we never let them out. Honestly, though, if you guys ever need Dubia tips, I have pretty good. I could never. It's an E-Wave. I got it used from someone else. I bought it off of Craigslist. Any wine fridge will work if you have a rack that can fit your incubation bin in. I get a BN link that is low temp, high temp. So you want it to shut off when it gets low, and then you want it to kick on when it gets high to be able to keep it in your range. So low temp is 68, it kicks on. High temp is 71, it kicks off.
So Dubia Roaches, I actually make my own feed and everything. There's definitely a science to it. And the thing about it is, if you want to successfully breed geckos, it's so important. I credit a lot of my like having a 0 rate of failure to thrive to my dubias. Like, yeah, none of them are eating these freaking black soldier flies, so we're screwed. Like, so we need dubias, right? Literally none of them. Not a single little monster is trying to eat them. So I guess they're going to be made into protein powder for them. Okay, guys, I'm going to head out now, but thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you soon.